Hey there, Becca Grabinski here. We are working through some really cool things today. And one of my clients reached out yesterday and said, I had this holiday event this weekend and I had this like incredible high. And then after the fact, after it was over, my energy dropped. What is this? Like, what happened? Now I feel low. And if we look at it in the terms of energy, we have three different voices, right, that are going on in our head. And we also have three different needs that we're meeting. One is the needs of the ego of feeling safety, stability, comfort, familiarity is there. And then you have the inner child, which is like this play, this fun, this allowance. And then you have the energy of soul, which is a very peaceful, calm, stable energy as well. So with soul, if we're accessing an experience via soul, as in it's filling the needs of the soul, it's going to be peaceful and there isn't going to be the highs and lows. Okay. The other two over here are the pieces of the puzzle that I like to look at. So what happened for her specifically is that this filled the need of her inner child. She felt seen, she felt heard, she felt loved, she felt accepted. And so in that, after the fact, she gets this high that fills the needs of her inner child. And then once it goes away, it drops. I had the same thing, whatever, however many years it was when I got married, 12 years ago. Same thing. It was like this build, had the wedding. And then the day after, it was like this low. Or went to Bali, had this amazing vacation, had these amazing experiences, got back to Minnesota because I was living there at the time. I had like 4 weeks of like an energetic low. Went to Bob Proctor and did his matrix training in Canada. Same thing, came back and dropped. Looking back at all of these events, right? You have things that are happening in your life where it creates this incredible high. You feel phenomenal in the moment. And then you get the after drop. It's okay to have that. It's okay to choose things based upon our ego and to based upon our inner child. There's nothing wrong with that. What is important is that you're able to hold the low and you have the awareness to knowing when the low happens, this is why. So when we're filling the needs of ego, when we're making choices based upon the ego feeling safe and secure, it could be even in something along the lines of making an investment, a financial investment. It feels safe and secure, and then the market drops. And that security is gone. Do you see how there's so many events in our life where they're based upon tangible things, externally, ego, externally, inner child, whereas soul is an internal need. It's an internal process. So naturally, when we follow soul, we feel better. We feel great. We feel alive. We feel balanced. We feel like detached. It doesn't matter what happens outside of us. It doesn't matter what happens relationally. It doesn't matter what happens in the business. We just have this like knowing, this faith, this trust, and we lean back into the energy. That's a thing. So what if it's okay that if you allow yourself to know, okay, my inner child needs to belong right now. So I'm going to put myself in this situation where I'm going to allow myself to be in a state of belonging, knowing that maybe it is misaligned, but I'm meeting one of my needs. Maybe staying in a relationship too long, maybe choosing the wrong relationship, maybe being a certain version of you that isn't authentic to get the love and acceptance from other people outside of you. Now, there is a process through this that can definitely enhance the way that you see the world and enhance the way that you live in this life, which is the more that you choose soul, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. And there's no shame with picking the other two paths. There's no shame. You can jump on ego and jump back into soul. You can jump into inner child and jump back into soul. You can spend the majority of the year in soul and at the end of the year, move into ego. What I really desire for you is that you have the ability to handle and to hold disappointment. So when the disappointment comes, you say, okay, me choosing this path, one of the risks of doing this is disappointment, loss, grief, rejection, abandonment. I tell you what, yesterday I was walking through and I was feeling this like irritation, this anger yesterday that was running through. And yoga is it's the only time where I'm forced to just like sit still and to be. Sometimes I can't necessarily do that for myself. I'm walking, I'm running, I'm lifting weights, I'm in motion all the time and pacing. Sometimes even when I'm on client calls, like I'm pacing through my house. And so yesterday in yoga, halfway through, it was like, you're angry because you feel abandoned. I was so crazy excited and elated and happy to know that what this feeling underneath the anger, because the anger is just fear with passion, right? Was this abandonment. And then I was able to not just like allow it to fulfill me, that I can hold it. I can hold feeling abandoned. I can hold fear. I can hold anger. I can hold all of these things. I just need the awareness, the knowing to know what is coming through me. So whatever path you pick, I want you to be okay with the discomfort that's on the other side of the path. Sometimes picking the path of soul is sitting with and being able to hold the unknown of, I'm surrendering. This doesn't make sense. I'm moving to this new space. It feels aligned. It feels right. Ego doesn't agree. Inner child doesn't agree. And yet this is the path I'm supposed to take. And so it's me having this ability to hold this unknown to say, I'm safe to feel this. I just become more present. I practice more present. I practice being in the moment. I meditate more. I journal more. I give this an opportunity to read more, to connect more with myself, and to put myself in this like uncomfortable situation of like moving into this new community and meeting new people. So wherever you're at, accept that you're okay with it. But with the choice that you make, get really good at being able to hold what comes after.